the end of water abundance. For generations, Canada, we thought we were blessed, living in the land of lakes and rivers. But today we face a stark reality. The illusion of infinite water is shattering. Our reservoirs are drying, and we must wake up. Stood so proud, saying look at our shores, longest coastline, those majestic waters restored. But drought's creeping in like a thief in the night. It's a national crisis, can you see the plight? Not just the West, it's spreading all around, from BC's mountains to the prairie ground. Climate change rising like a relentless tide. Old laws of management, how can we abide? It's the end of water abundance. Can't you feel the strain? The water supply. Reservoirs are low, shadows on the land. Farmers working hard, but can't make a stand. Atlantic provinces crying for relief. Vulnerable tables, oh man, what's the grief? What's left for the future? As we dance on the brink, every drop is precious. Can't you see what I think? Food stocks dwindling, our economy at risk. We need action now, let's put a stop to this. It's the end of water. The water supply. Time to rise up, change these old policies. Innovation and wisdom, we gotta set free. Together we can fight this hydrological fight. For every child, every future, let's make it right. Remember the past, when the waters flow free. Let's protect our resources. It's not just for me, the land is calling. Let's answer with care for generations to come. Let's share and prepare. The dry land is pleading, hear its mournful song. Let's build a future where we all belong. So here we stand at the edge of the flow. Let's unite together, let our commitment grow. In this emotional struggle, we'll persevere. For the end of water abundance is something we fear. But with hope and action, we'll rise from the grave. Together in harmony, we'll find our way.
The Thirsty Land, Canada's Drought Crisis, and the Mandate for Water Retention. A white paper by Bill Buckles, copyright 2025. All rights reserved. Introduction: The End of Water Abundance. For generations, Canada defined itself by an illusion of infinite water. We boast the longest coastline and the largest freshwater reserves globally, Yet today, large swaths of the country are grappling with multi-year, persistent drought. This is not just a Western problem. It is a national crisis of hydrological failure amplified by climate change and enabled by outdated, permissive water management policies. The drought is no longer a temporary aberration. It is the new normal. From the critically low reservoirs of British Columbia to the parched farmland of the prairies and the vulnerable water tables of the Atlantic provinces, the drying out of the Canadian landscape threatens our food security, our economy, and the stability of our essential ecosystems. This analysis documents the widespread impacts of this crisis and pivots from lament to a decisive demand for action. The immediate, strategic adoption of a national water retention strategy coupled with rigorous, ecologically based use restrictions to secure our water future.
I drove the Trans-Canada from the Pacific to the sea, and all I saw was brown and dusty looking back at me. In Dawson Creek, BC, the creek has gone to sand. The Okanagan's empty shore across this thirsty land. The nation's reservoir is cracked and the tears begin to fall. The water's gone. This is the long dry road and we walk it side by side. The Canadian anxiety where the hope has gone to hide. The fields are full of empty and the river's just a trickle. We all waiting for the rain now, for the blessing of the nickel. Rely on faith. Her hair is river bone dry. The soil is turning white. The winter wheat is stunted. It can't survive the night. The livestock wait by dugouts that are shallow, black and grim. We need the meltwater promising, but the future looks too thin. Another season of lost yield puts a mortgage on my soul. Gotta pay the banker's fee. This is a long dry road and we walk it side by side. The Canadian anxiety where the hope has gone to hide. The fields are full of empty and the river's just a trickle. We are waiting for the rain now, for the blessing of the nickel. Oh, just a drop, just a drop. Even the east is burning, they feel the water pain. The headed Atlantic provinces are begging for the rain. The cranberry harvest withered, the PA earth is tight. The forest floor is tender under the autumn light. The ground is holding nothing and the fire is close at hand. This is the long dry road and we walk it side by side. The Canadian anxiety where the hope has gone to hide. The fields are full of empty and the river
the wells are getting salty and the water table drops. It's time to face the weather that this apathy stops. The whole wide country's drying up and the fever's getting high. This is the long dry road and we walking side by side. The Canadian anxiety where the hope has gone to hide. The fields are full of empty and the river's just a trickle. We are waiting for the rain now, for the blessing of the nickel. We can't rely on faith. This is a long dry road and we walk it side by side. The Canadian anxiety where the hope has gone to hide. The fields are full of empty and the river's just a trickle. We are waiting for the rain now, for the blessing of the nickel. We can't rely on faith. I drove the Trans-Canada from the Pacific to the sea, and all I saw was brown and dusty looking back at me. In Dawson Creek, BC, the creek has gone to sand. The Hiddo-Kennegan's empty shore across this thirsty land. The nation's reservoir is cracked and the tears begin to fall. This is the long dry road and we walk it side by side. The Canadian anxiety where the hope has gone to hide. The fields are full of empty and the river's just a trickle. We are waiting for the rain now, for the blessing of the nipping. We can't rely on faith.
Category 1. The National Drought Lament, the Geographical Scope. The geographic expanse of the drought reveals a shared, systemic vulnerability across the country, fundamentally challenging the narrative of Canadian water wealth. In the Pacific Province, the crisis is immediate. Communities, particularly in the interior, are facing stage for water restrictions. In regions like Dawson Creek, British Columbia, essential municipal water sources have reached critically low levels, forcing communities to rely on emergency measures. The Okanagan Valley, known for its fruit production, is seeing lake and reservoir levels far below seasonal norms, damaging aquatic habitats and creating extreme wildfire risk. The agricultural core of the country is equally afflicted. The severity of the drought across Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba is most acutely felt on the farm. The lack of reliable subsoil moisture means winter crops are failing to establish and water sources for livestock, such as dugouts, are empty. The resulting economic strain on the farming community jeopardizes national food security. Critically, the crisis is not confined to the West. Even the East is parched. Parts of southern Ontario, Quebec, and Atlantic Canada have experienced persistent dryness, elevating the risk of intense, late-season wildfires and threatening local food production, such as the cranberry and blueberry harvests, which rely heavily on stable water levels.
Haul it in, haul it in, Waterloo, Waterloo. I'm a commercial fisher, spent 30 years on the tide. I need a clean, full river with nothing left to hide. But the water's moving slow now, the current is too weak. The temperature is rising and the fish ain't fit to keep. The salmon can't get upstream, Lord, they die upon the banks. We are the fishermen, we're asking for the water to flow, not for a selfish taking, but for the seed that we sow. The habitat is dying with the heat and the low stream. We need retention, not surrender, to save the Canadian dream. When the flow rate is lowered, the toxins stay right here, and the hump's still low. Now bring the fishing fear. The river can't dilute it, the chemicals concentrate. It ruins the reputation, sealing the fisher's fate. We pull the nets up empty and the bills are coming due. We are the fishermen, we're asking for the water to flow, not for a selfish taking, but for the seed that we sow. The habitat is dying with the heat and the low stream. We need retention, not surrender, to save the Canadian dream. I see those fields beside the banks, growing thirsty things, like the harvest that it brings. They pump the river empty, they take what we must share, and then the dry lands run off, sends the silt into the air. They're taken from the common for a short-term private gain. Gotta think of the next seed. We are the fishermen, we're asking for the water to flow, not for a selfish taking, but for the seed that we sow. The habitat is dying with the heat and the low stream. We need retention, not surrender, to save the Canadian dream. You can't farm the riparian, that's what the law should read. The floodplain is a buffer for the water that we need. It shouldn't be for drawing, it should be for the flow. We need a mesh national water plan to tell the pump slow down, go slow. The river is a lifeline, not a straw that you can sow. We are the fishermen, we're commercial fisher, spent 30 years on the tide. I need a clean, full river with nothing left to hide. But the water's moving slow now, the current is too weak. The temperature is rising and the fish ain't fit to keep. The salmon can't get upstream, Lord, they die upon the banks. We are the fishermen, we're asking for the water to flow, not for a selfish taking, but for the seed that we sow. The habitat is dying with the heat and the low stream. We need retention, not surrender, to save the Canadian dream. Haul it in, haul it in. Water low, water low.
Category 2. The commercial water crisis, the fisherman's plea. The depletion and degradation of river systems have created an existential crisis for the commercial fishing industry and the aquatic life it relies upon. When flow is low, the environment suffers from habitat death by heat. Low river flow, particularly in waterways crucial for spawning, leads directly to increased water temperatures. This thermal stress is lethal to native species like salmon, preventing successful migration and killing off essential nursery habitats. The economic engine of the fishery is failing because its foundational resource is sick. Furthermore, contaminant concentration accelerates. When rivers and lakes are low, pollutants are no longer diluted. Silt, nutrient runoff, and industrial chemicals, like PFAs, which might be manageable in high-flow situations, become highly concentrated. This makes fish unsafe for human consumption, ruining the catch, and creating a food safety hazard that directly harms the livelihoods of fishing communities. The cost of industrial and agricultural water over-extraction is being paid by the ecosystem. This phenomenon, effectively an ecosystem tax, sees the essential flow required to sustain the fishery sacrificed to maintain high-intensity farming or industrial processes, demonstrating a fundamental regulatory failure to prioritize the public trust of water over private short-term gain.
Spent 30 years on the tide. I need a clean, full river with nothing left to hide. But the water's moving slow now, the current is too weak. The temperature is rising and the fish ain't fit to keep. The salmon can't get upstream, Lord, they die upon the banks. We are the fishermen, we're asking for the water to flow. Water, water, clean water. Not for a selfish taking, but for the seed that we sow. The habitat is dying with the heat and the low stream. We need retention, not surrender, to save the Canadian dream. Ah! now bring the fishing fear. The river can't dilute it, the chemicals concentrate. It ruins the reputation, sealing the fish's fate. We pull the nets up empty, and the bills are coming due. We are the fishermen, we're asking for the water to flow. Water to clean water. Not for a selfish taking, but for the seed that we sow. The habitat is dying with the heat in the low stream. We need retention, not surrender, to save the Canadian dream. Those fields beside the banks, growing thirsty things, water-intensive crops like the harvest that it brings. They pump the river empty, they take what we must share, and then the dry land's runoff sends the silt into the air. They're taken from the common for a short-term private gain. Gotta think of the next year. We are the fishermen, we're asking for the water to flow. Water to water, clean water. Not for a selfish taking, but for the seed that we sow. The habitat is dying with the heat in the low stream. We need retention, not surrender, to save the Canadian dream. You can't farm the riparian, that's what the law should read. The floodplain is a buffer for the water that we need. It shouldn't be for drawing, it should be for the flow. We need a national water plan to tell the pump slow down, go slow. The river is a lifeline, not a straw that you can suck. We are the fishermen, we're asking for the water to flow. Water, water, clean water. Not for a selfish taking, but for the seed that we sow. The habitat is dying with the heat in the low stream. We need retention, not surrender, to save the Canadian dream. Not for a selfish taking, but for the seed that we sow. The habitat is dying with the heat and the low stream. We need retention, not surrender, to save the Canadian dream. I'm a commercial fisher, spent 30 years on the tide. I need a clean, full river with nothing left to hide. But the water's moving slow now, the current is too weak. The temperature is rising and can't get upstream. Lord, they die upon the banks. We are the fishermen, we're asking for the water to flow. Water, water, clean water. Not for a selfish taking, but for the seed that we sow. The habitat is dying with the heat in the low stream. We need retention, not surrender, to save the Canadian dream.
Category 3. The policy failure, the limits of the riparian zone. Current water licensing and land use policies demonstrate a systemic failure to protect the functional integrity of Canadian waterways. The riparian zone, the land immediately adjacent to a river, is meant to be a protective buffer, absorbing runoff and stabilizing banks. Instead, these areas are often utilized for farming, particularly for water-intensive crops. This practice is doubly damaging. It accelerates the draw of water during dry periods and increases the amount of silt and nutrient pollution entering the water. This is enabled by the unchecked draw. Licensing systems in many provinces grant permits that allow users to draw vast amounts of water from rivers without sufficiently accounting for the cumulative, systemic impact on the overall flow rate necessary to sustain the ecosystem. This short-sighted management turns rivers into little more than irrigation ditches, sacrificing long-term ecological health for immediate commercial benefit. To halt this, new regulations must be enacted to enforce an absolute prohibition on growing water-intensive crops in close proximity to riverbanks. The legal right to water extraction must be decoupled from land ownership and instead tied to the health of the entire watershed.
The snow is gonna melt now. The spring will surely come. The floodwaters are racing, escaping every drum. We let the precious water rush away into the sea. We weep about the drought now, but the fall belongs to we. We gotta hold the winter melt before it gets too far.
Catch it, save it up.
Sing the retention pond anthem. Hear the shovel hit the clay. We're building back the buffer. We are turning back the day. From the Rockies to the Maritimes, it's a national water plan. Stop the short-term draining. Be the steward of the land. Retention ponds for our future. That's the word we gotta preach. The engineered wetlands are now within our reach. Build the small reservoirs on the farmer's barren plot. The same water that was breaking banks is the one I'll capture the flood in April and release it in July. For the corn and for the fish, sing the retention pond anthem, hear the shovel hit the clay. We're building back the buffer, we are turning back the day. From the Rockies to the Maritimes, it's us, National Water Plan. Stop the short-term draining, be the steward of the land. The government must step up now and fund the vital work. The cost of doing nothing is a shadow that will lurk. Decouple the license from the right to drain it down. Protect the riparian zone across the every town. It's not just about the money, it's about the hash national love. Private grab. The water is a public trust, not something that we stab. The his commercial fisher needs it, the family farmer too. The city needs its drinking well from me and also you. We are a nation built on water, and we gotta fight to keep it. Shovel hit the clay. We're building back the buffer, we are turning back the day. From the Rockies to the Maritimes, it's us, National Water Plan. Stop the short-term draining, be the steward of the land. Catch the water where it runs, water for the children. Dig the ditch, save the ditch for all of Canada's sons. Water for the future. The drought will come and go, but the plan must stay right here. 400 years. National Water Plan. Stop the short-term draining, be the steward of the land. The snow is gonna melt now, the spring will surely come. The flood waters are racing, escaping every drum. We let the precious water rush away into the sea. We weep about the drought now, but the fault belongs to we. We gotta hold the winter melt before it gets too far. Capture it, save it up. Sing the retention pond anthem, hear the shovel hit the clay. We're building back the buffer, Hear the shovel hit the clay. We're building back the buffer. We are turning back the day. From the Rockies to the Maritimes, it's a national water plan. Stop the short-term draining. Be the steward of the land.
Category 4. The Retention Mandate, the National Solution. The only viable response to the new climate reality is a national water retention strategy that transforms how we view and manage water during high-flow and flood events. We must embrace capturing the flood. We must cease allowing spring melt and heavy rainfall to simply rush away into the oceans. Retention ponds, strategically placed reservoirs, and engineered wetlands must be built across the country to capture and store this water. This transforms flood risk, a contaminant accelerator, into hydrological resilience, turning today's excess into tomorrow's supply. Water captured during high-flow periods must be used for strategic release during the driest months, providing necessary flows for municipal use, essential agricultural irrigation, and critically, maintaining the temperature and volume required to sustain aquatic life. This is proactive climate adaptation that hedges against the inevitable future droughts. This strategy requires national infrastructure investment and federal leadership. This is not merely an environmental project, it is a national security imperative that secures food production, minimizes wildfire risk, and ensures the continued viability of freshwater ecosystems across the entire nation.
Time to gather round, hear the story unfold about water stewards, the brave and the bold. In the shadows of drought, we can't turn away. Let's face the truth before it fades away. In the heart of Canada, the rivers run dry. The land's been thirsty, it's hard to deny. Riparian drains hurting the banks. Nature's calling out, it deserves our thanks. We ain't owners of this precious resource, just stewards on this path. Let's change our course.
Bow the head behind a backdrop of blue.
The rains once danced here, but they vanished away. Let's bring life back, we owe it to the day. Oh, drought blues, can you feel that pain? Water slipping through like a runaway train. We got to stand up, gotta slow that train. Give our land a voice, let the rivers regain. With heavy hearts, we build the buffer strong. Rotate some structures where they belong. Capture the rain. as the days go by. We can plant new roots in earth so warm, with hope for tomorrow. Let the water be born. We're in this together. No more delay to save our streams. We gotta build and not fight. Oh, drought blues, can you feel that pain? Water slipping through like a runaway train. We got to stand up, gotta slow that drain. Give our land a voice, let the rivers regain. Hear the thunder, it's calling for change. Regulate water as a public range. No more greed, that ain't the way. Let's show the world how we can sway. With authority to protect what's right, we'll fight for our rivers. We'll ignite that light. Punitive measures so others can see water's worth more than mere luxury. So rise up, my friends, it's time to act fast. For the sake of our future, let's make it last. In the heat of the moment, hear the blues we proclaim about drought and our duty. We won't be the same. Narrate our courage, let that story unfold. As stewards of water, let's be brave. Let's be bold.
Conclusion: stewardship as the core Canadian value. The Canadian drought crisis is a stark reminder that we are stewards, not owners, of our water. The solution is not complex, but it requires a fundamental shift in national priorities. First, we must stop the riparian drain, immediately enacting and enforcing regulations that protect and restore riverbanks, banning water-intensive cultivation in sensitive riparian zones, and prioritizing ecological flow over excessive private consumption. Second, we must build the buffer, committing to the mass construction of retention infrastructure across all vulnerable watersheds to capture and store water for drought mitigation. Finally, we must enforce with authority. Water usage must be regulated as a public trust, not a private commodity, with punitive penalties that reflect the true value of water and incentivize compliance. The data unequivocally shows that the level of environmental stress currently afflicting Canadian ecosystems is a function of permissible corporate conduct and regulatory inaction. Without a decisive pivot toward proactive protection and rigorous enforcement, the thirsty land will become a permanent burden on future generations.
drove the Trans-Canada from the Pacific to the sea, and all I saw was brown and dusty looking back at me. In a Dawson Creek, BC, the creek has gone to sand. The Okanagan's empty shore across this thirsty land. The nation's reservoir is cracked and the tears begin to fall. The water's gone. This is a long, dry road and we walk it side by side. The Canadian anxiety where the hope has gone to hide. The fields are full of empty and the river's just a trickle. We are waiting for the rain now, for the blessing of the nickel. We can't rely on faith. The prairies are bone dry, the soil is turning white. The winter wheat is stunted, it can't survive the night. The livestock wait by dugouts that are shallow, black and grim. We need the mill water promise, but the future looks too thin. Another season of lost yield puts a mortgage on my soul. Gotta pay the banker's fee. This is the long, dry road and we walk it side by side. The Canadian anxiety where the hope has gone to hide. The fields are full of empty and the river's just a trickle. We are waiting for the rain now, for the blessing of the nickel. Oh! Just a drop, just a drop. Even the east is burning, they feel the water pain. The Atlantic provinces are begging for the rain. The cranberry harvest withered, the P8 earth is tight. The forest floor is tender under the autumn light. The ground is holding nothing and the fire's close at hand. This is the long, dry road and we walk it side by side. The Canadian anxiety where the hope has gone to hide. The fields are full of empty and the river's just a trickle. We are waiting for the rain now, for the blessing of the nickel. We can't rely on faith. We used to boast of water, the endless glacial might. We sold it off too freely and we failed to hold it tight. Now the wells are getting salty and the water table drops. It's time to face the weather, that this apathy stops. The whole wide country's drying up and the fever's getting high. This is the long, dry road and we walk it side by side. The Canadian anxiety where the hope has gone to hide. The fields are full of empty and the river's just a trickle. We are waiting for the rain now, for the blessing of the nickel. We can't rely on faith. we walk it side by side. The Canadian anxiety, where the hope has gone to hide. The fields are full of empty, and the river's just a trickle. All of the water's gone. We are waiting for the rain now, for the blessing of the nickel. We can't rely on faith. I drove the Trans-Canada from the Pacific to the sea, and all I saw was brown and dusty looking back at me. In a Dawson Creek, BC, the creek has gone to sand. The very beginning's empty shore across this thirsty land. The nation's reservoir is cracked, and the tears begin to fall. Hold the water. This is the long, dry road, and we walk it side by side. The Canadian anxiety, where the hope has gone to hide. The fields are full of empty, and the river's just a trickle. We are waiting for the rain now, for the blessing of the nickel. We can't rely on faith.
Addendum, the structure of the white paper versus the song suite. The white paper has 4 main categories of crisis and solution, while the song suite has 3 distinct songs because the suite was intentionally designed to move through a classic 3-act structure: lament, conflict, and resolution, call to action. Category 2, the commercial water crisis, and Category 3, the policy failure, both map to the conflicts expressed by Song 2, the Fisher's Plea. Category 2 is the conflict/consequence. The song focuses specifically on the immediate economic and ecological crisis from Category 2. It introduces the key conflict, fishermen versus overpumping, and the demand for restrictions that forms part of Category 3's policy change. The policy critique from Category 3, the need to end water-intensive farming on riverbanks, is integrated directly into Song 2. The fishermen's suffering is caused by this policy failure, making the critique of the riparian zone limits part of the conflict narrative. The other 2 songs are more straightforward and directly apply to only a single category. Category 1, the National Drought Lament geographical scope, maps to Song 1, the Long Dry Road Blues. This is the lament/setup. The song captures the widespread province-by-province suffering detailed in Category 1, setting the emotional scene for the entire suite. Category 4, the retention mandate, the national solution, maps to Song 3, the retention pond anthem. This is the resolution/call to action. The song is a direct and uplifting anthem for the comprehensive, proactive solution detailed in Category 4, demanding the building of retention infrastructure as the path forward. So, to summarize the structural difference, the white paper separates the crisis into 4 distinct analytical points for detailed discussion: geography, commercial loss, policy failure, solution. The song suite, however, merges the 2 most immediate crisis elements, commercial loss and its root cause, policy failure, into the single fisherman's plea, Song 2. This creates a stronger dramatic arc. Act 1, Song 1, the suffering, the lament. Act 2, Song 2, the cause and the fight, the conflict. Act 3, Song 3, the hope and the work, the resolution. The structure is optimized for narrative flow and musical impact rather than strict analytical categorization. Also, note that this addendum is presented as the foreword in the white paper itself, but for the purposes of this podcast and the key messages finds its way here as an afterthought, but an important one. I hope you have enjoyed this presentation.